Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. How are you? Welcome to the show at Rise Up Show with me, your host, the Queen Bee, Dani. How are you feeling? As we chat this morning to the devilishly handsome, the fabulously wonderful, the incredibly knowledgeable Mr. Fidel Bohill, the modern man. Good morning. Jodie Sol, good morning. Babna Reddy, good morning. Elise Woodbine, good morning. The devilishly handsome Ian Dixon, good morning, sir.
Shut up, for f***'s sake. Jesus.
The fantastic Lizzie Jackson Barrett, good morning. Josephine Sandra, everybody, good morning. Good morning. Hello, everybody. How are you? I hope you are well. Welcome to the show at Rise Up Show with me, your host, Dani Wallace. I am the Queen Bee, as are you, or the King Bee, or the Royal Bee, because we are an inclusive brand. I hope you are well this Wednesday morning. I'm a bit gobsmacked this morning. I'll make sure I've got lipstick on my teeth. I've got red lipstick on. It'd be embarrassing, wouldn't it? I've got red lipstick on my teeth. There's a trick. Those of you know I like makeup. There's a trick that if you've got a dark lipstick on, this looks a bit naughty. You ready? You get your finger and go like this, and all of the bits that were going to land on your teeth will land on your finger, and then you won't get lipstick on your teeth. So there you go. Makeup hack, starting with the value this morning. I hope you are all well. Welcome to the show. Literally, oh my God, you guys. I've got off the phone this morning to a TV production company. And we were in talks last week, and I wanted to understand, you know, what the thing was. And they'd approached me, and they were talking to me about this, you know, incredible show that they were making, and that they'd found me, and they'd seen what I'd done with the big festoon and all of that sort of stuff. Like, really made me smile. Just because that was a slip, because Vicky just went, oh, that opening credits made me smile. So there was like, we'd seen what you were doing with the big festoon, and we was like, okay, we like you. We think you're aligned with what it is that we're trying to do. I'm not allowed to tell you anything other than I've signed on the dotted line this morning for a TV program. It's going to be aired. It won't be aired till next year, but we are filming this year. It won't be aired till next year on Amazon Prime and Apple TV. Oh my God! So that just happened, like literally this morning. So we were in talks last week. I wanted to learn more about what it is that they were doing. I wanted to kind of understand the TV production company better. As well, you know, I like to be really super aligned with everything that I do, and I wanted to make sure that I was. So me and my incredible coach and mentor has been approached for it as well, Lisa Johnson. So me and Lisa Johnson are going to be filming for this incredible TV production. So more on that as I'm allowed to tell you. But yeah, really, really, really exciting news from IATQB HQ this morning. And even more exciting news coming up tomorrow. So I've got a huge announcement to make tomorrow, and it's gonna involve all of you. So every single one of you watching right now, every single one of you in the hive, every single one of my secret squirrels, the announcement that I have tomorrow is going to affect all of you, or it has the possibility, the potential to affect all of you. So very, very exciting times. I told you exciting times were coming. I can only tell you so much as it all unfolds, but this morning what I can tell you is that your girl has just signed the dotted line to be on an Amazon Prime TV show. So yeah, celebrating today, kicking hump day off, as we would love to, with brilliant news and sharing those good vibes with all of you this morning. Hope you're feeling well. Good morning, Philomena. First past the post this morning. Buenos dias, hola, mi cariño. Welcome to the show at Rise Up Show. If you are new to the show, please do let me know in the comments. Say, hey, it is an interactive show. You can ask questions as we go along. I've got an incredible guest this morning. We're going to be talking about ego versus reality. A couple of things to tell you before we get kicked off. Good morning, Pixie. How are we doing? Hello. If you are watching wherever it is that you're watching, and we can see that you are a Facebook user, if you go to the top of the live stream, if you click on like the video on the title, it will give you or give StreamYard permission to for us to speak to you, for us to see your name. So on our Facebook user, welcome to the show. I don't know who you are. So if you would like your name to be seen up here, up in lights, like Lisa Brown's just here. Hey. Then please do give StreamYard permission to see your name, so we can see your name and we can all celebrate together. Good morning, Vicky Mercer. Hello, Diane. Ivory, CSI Ivory. I hope you are feeling better, Madam Anna. She was not feeling very well at all, had the COVID. I know you've been struggling for the past few weeks. So big hugs to CSI Ivory. Send us some loves of beautiful Queen Bee there. Vicky loves the opening credits. I love the opening credits too. We're going to be re-editing those in the not too distant future. Alexandra, Dani, I look beautiful. I feel beautiful this morning. I feel beautiful from the inside out this morning. But yeah, such good news this morning for IATQB HQ. Amy, welcome to the show. We've got newbies that are watching this morning. I'm sure coming over to watch the fabulous Dione Lockyer and I have some wicked conversations. We have got our sleeves up this morning. We are ready to light a fire under your backsides this hump day. But before I do, yesterday I announced that the doors are officially open for you to sign up to the Move Be Get Out the Way challenge. So I know we're tired. I know lockdown has been long. It has been so very long. And January particularly was such a funny old month. We got into the new year, it was feeling a little bit strange. We got thrown into lockdown. Those of us that are parents or caregivers of children started spinning their homeschooling plates. And it's very easy to kind of take your eyes off the prize, which is yourself. Yourself is the prize. Like, your happiness is the prize. Your success, however you measure it, is the prize. And when we get pushed down like that, it's really difficult for us to lift ourselves back up again. So I've created the Move Be Get Out the Way challenge. You can take part in from the 22nd of February in the IATQB Hive. So if you're not in my free community, the IATQB Hive, it stands for I Am the Queen Bee. You can get in there. It's a great place to network, super safe space to network. There's no spamming, no selling in there. It's just value and support. We cheer each other on for our successes, and we cheer each other up with our challenges. Get yourselves in there, and then you need to go to iamthequeenbee.co.uk/move-be-challenge. iamthequeenbee.co.uk/move-be-challenge for you to take part in the Move Be Get Out of the Way. So we're going to be looking about self-sabotage. We're going to be looking about getting out of our own way. So all of you know, well, the newbies might not know, I have a book out about self-sabotage called I Am the Queen Bee, How I Overcame Self-Sabotage to Fly Anyway and How You Can Too. So I have rolled my sleeves up. We've got into the hive, asked everybody what they want, and we need to kick up the bum. We need to get focused, and we need to get focused on ourselves. We need to start putting ourselves right front and center of our lives and our businesses, because none of it happens without you. So if you want to get a little bit of focus, you need to be signing up to that Move Be Get Out the Way challenge over in the IATQB Hive, 22nd of February. You need to go to iamthequeenbee.co.uk/move-be-challenge. Let me know in the comments if you signed up already, if you are excited. It's free to take part, absolutely free to take part. It's just a little bit of supercharging now, as we need to lift ourselves up as we sort of peep around the doors of the end of this sorry situation. It's been 12 months of bloody lockdown. Who likes my cup? Well-behaved women seldom make history. And I've got a feeling this morning that we've got two not very well-behaved women together having a talk about the stuff that we need to do in order to get out of our own way, the things that we need to realize about ourselves in order to make better decisions and grow into our happiness and success. And that's the point of this show, that we show up, we rise up together. We're going to be doing that with the incredible Dione Lockyer. Everybody, welcome to the show. I'm hoping that's the, I thought you froze there. Did you freeze?
I can't see you.
Oh no, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, thank God that you can hear me. If those of you watching at home, please tell me that we are okay and that you can see and hear us. I don't know if we may have frozen. You can hear me though, babe.
Yep, hear you clearly.
Okay, we shall press on. If you can hear me, we can still chat. All right. Dione, welcome to the show. I am absolutely thrilled to have you with us.
I'm so excited.
And you're joining us from Spain.
Yep, from a little town called Alarin El Grande, which is close to Malaga. Not so sunny though, unfortunately. Grey skies and lots of rain.
Oh, do you know what? Everyone can see us both, Dion, so we're okay.
Perfect.
The audience can see us, that's fine. The show will go on. Normally, I have behind me my shit weather map, and I forgot in my excitement this morning, I forgot to prepare my shit weather map. Where normally I ask everybody, because very British for a very British show, what the weather's doing, where they are, and we only have 3 choices of weather. We've got it's scorchio, so sunny bee, raining, because that's what it does predominantly in the UK, and the other one, the other most prevalent type of weather, which is it's a bit shit. So know when somebody
it's a bit shit. It's definitely a bit shit.
So we're not living vicariously through you for the weather this morning. It makes me feel a little bit better. We get lots of people coming on from all over the world. We've got Simon tomorrow. He's coming in from South Africa. When people go, oh, I'm in Tenerife, or I'm in Portugal, or I'm in Dubai, and it's all beautiful and sunny outside, I'm like, oh, it's a bit shitty, yeah.
I'll be honest, normally I could sit there and go, oh, it's just so beautiful, but looking out, no, it's pretty shit.
Oh, but it's not shit in here, and it is not shit for those of you that are watching at home, because me and Dion have got your back this morning, because we're going to be talking about mindset, right?
Indeed.
So, Dion, tell us more about what it is that you do.
So I am a mindset mentor, accredited life coach that specializes in cognitive behavioral therapy. Right. So I concentrate on thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Mm-hmm. What you think, you feel, what you feel is how you behave. And it's the cognitive behavioral triangle. I started by accident. As a business, it wasn't meant to be.
Don't we? Many of us kind of fall into these things, then we realize that we're really skilled in that area, and and that becomes a natural calling, doesn't it?
Exactly that. I studied through going through a hard time myself, and I sought help but didn't receive the help that I needed. Right. So I started studying, and I started journaling it on my profile. Because I was always known as the life and soul of a party, the loud and proud one. Yep. So I kind of started writing about it, blogging it on my profile, to show that, even faces that look happy, you don't know what goes on behind closed doors. And 100%. I was kind of sharing how I overcome stuff. And then it happened, and people started coming to me saying, can you help me? And it all went a bit crazy from there.
It's so interesting. It's a very similar thing. I don't know if you know, a very similar thing happened for me, in that when I first started building my audience, I was talking about personal development specifically, and my personal development from my adversities. So, and I think a lot of us find this. In my corporate life, I'd studied personality profiling and strong leadership and all of this sort of stuff, MBTI and DISC and all that. I'd studied and been through my CIPD and management, and I knew people, but I weren't applying these things to myself, as many of us do. When I found myself in real adversity, and things were really bad, and I weren't making very good decisions for myself, I'd forgotten all of the things that I actually knew, all of the things that actually had become instinctive to me, and started to apply them to myself. And when I started to apply them to myself, I'd be going live in my car, talking about makeup, putting makeup on, and musing and telling people in a very similar way to you, kind of journaling online what your experiences were. Yeah. Literally journaling out of my face, and Facebook Live became my journal. To overcoming, or at least sort of reaching a hand out to see that I weren't on my own, and reminded other people that they weren't on their own. And again, very similar to you, the life and soul of the party, the confident one in inverted commas, when actually underneath there was a lot going on. So what took you on that journey? So when you were journaling things out, and then you started your learning around cognitive behavioral therapy, how did you start to build a business around that?
Well, somebody approached me. She ignored me. I ignored her for quite some time. God love her. I'm allowed to say that because she's a really good friend now. A very, very well-known person internationally approached me and said, I think I need your help. And I was like, right, okay. And she was like, I'd like you to come down and do one-to-ones with me. And I wasn't qualified at the time, and I'm known as the real raw and honest life coach.
Right.
I was like, I'm not qualified to do that. She's like, yeah, I know. I watch you, but it's your honesty, your realness that I like, and the journey that you're on. And I kind of just I blanked it until one day she sent me a message, and she was like, Dione, you're a very silly girl. She was like, you've got this opportunity and it's obviously being sent your way for a reason, and you're completely blocking it out. And so I phoned her and I was like, listen, I'm so sorry. I was ignoring you.
Yeah.
I was hoping it would go away, because
this is a classic, isn't it? It's the classic self-sabotage. You see this, you think, oh, if I get involved in this, this has the potential to be a springboard for a success that I haven't tasted yet, for a success that I don't know that is safe. And what we do is we stop, we close down, because our bodies and our brains and our egos, and we're talking about this morning, think that, well, we don't know what that feels like. We don't know what that success feels like. We don't know what that good thing feels like, but we know this is safe and this is keeping us alive right now, body.
Yeah.
So we need to stay here, because here is a certainty, and it's our body's job and our brain's job to keep us alive. So when it comes to that being alien to us, that which is alien to us, which it includes success as well as adversity.
Oh, massively.
We put our barriers down, don't we?
Yeah. The ego took control. In my membership, we call her the little witch.
Yeah.
We say the witch can be a bitch. She will tell you everything that you can't do. You know, and that was what was happening. Even though I was on a journey myself and I was coming out the other end and I was in a really good place, it was the fear that got in the way of, oh my God, I'm not good enough to help someone else. Oh my God, what if I help this woman and something bad happens? Like, you know, we have over 60,000 thoughts a day. 80% of them are negative. Because, as you said, we self-sabotage. It's what we do naturally. It's hardwired into us, unfortunately, from childhood. And whether you've had the most amazing childhood or not, you know, you go to school and you're just learned this structural way of doing and thinking, and fear of success can be so much stronger than fear of failure. You know, the fear of other people's opinions and judgments and everything else, it all comes in, and then you attach it to a past experience. So, you know, that barrier happens when, if you're asked to do something and you can attach it to a negative experience, that anybody else, surely. But luckily this woman, even though she felt she needed help, she's a force to be reckoned with, and she doesn't take no for an answer.
I am here, like, she saw you and she was like in love with you. She's like, you're the person for me, and you're like, girl, no, I am not the person for you.
Yeah, exactly that. And I went down to see her in the end, and we did like one-to-one sessions, and I just fell in love with it. Like, to see the journey of someone else. And my biggest thing is when you know what I'm talking about, when you see that light bulb moment in their face, and they're like,
oh my God,
that just, I've got goosebumps just even picturing it. When you see the transformation in someone, when you're helping them and you see them get those light bulb moments, and you see them start to heal, and you see,
like, in front of your eyes, like, it's you can see it.
Yeah. And that is the most magical thing ever. And it was that moment that I knew that this is my journey. This is what I'm supposed to do.
Phenomenal. And you've got so many incredible people that follow you, and you know, like Sherry Ann's here. You're amazing. You're my friend. I'm so glad to have found you. You know, so many people that are watching. Welcome to the show, everybody. Those of you that are watching Dione this morning, you are most welcome, and thank you for joining us and being a part of our conversation this morning, because it's important. You know, there's a reason why I talk about self-sabotage. There's a reason why I wrote a book on self-sabotage, because I used to self-sabotage. I was like a serial self-saboteur. And now when you realize that the majority of the time your success is only hindered by yourself.
Yeah.
When you realize that, then the world starts to open up to you, because you suddenly reclaim control, you suddenly regain power, you suddenly reclaim your birthright to success, to abundance, to health, to wealth. It's all in your hands, regardless of what gets thrown at you. And that's not to say that life won't throw curveballs, but your reactions dictate your outcomes. And if you are thinking, okay, I've got control in this situation, even if it's just controlling my emotions in this situation, or controlling how I react in a situation, you are ultimately already successful. And that's an incredible thing to start to get your head around. Can you tell us a little bit about the difference between ego and reality? Because ego, for me, it's like you say, the voice in your head that you think is real, but it isn't necessarily.
No, it's all about the story that we tell ourselves. So when you mention the word ego, most people associate it with egotistical people, and that is not what it's about. No. The ego is that little voice that goes on in your head, the one that tells you, I can't do that because, or I'm not pretty enough, I'm not slim enough, I'm not a good mum, I'm not the best wife, I can't be successful. It's the initial thought that happens, but then what you do is you create an actual story in your mind. It's like you become the director, the producer, the film crew, and the main character of your film called your life. And you picture it. So, you know, let's just say you've got somebody that is not body confident. I'm going to use that because so many women come to me over it, and you feel you're not body confident, and you're getting ready to go and meet up with your friends, and you're getting dressed, and then in your head is like, I can't wear that, I'm too fat, or I'm too skinny, people are going to think I look awful, blah, blah, blah. And you just picture yourself walking into this restaurant to meet with your friends, and they give you this look and they talk about you behind your back. You create this false story, but you film it in your mind, which is why I talk about journaling so much, because when you put it to paper or you say it out loud, you actually realise what a crock of shit that you're telling yourself.
Right. The thought of something is always worse than the doing of it. And we speak about journaling, and we speak about, you know, affirming and all that sort of stuff. But it's honestly, if you don't journal, and all it is, it's like having an eject button for those thoughts in your head. If you imagine, if in your forehead you put in like a tape, you get to eject that tape and put it onto paper and look at it. And when you see it like that, you go, oh, we can make sense of this now. I'm thinking this because of a past experience, and I get to choose differently, for example, right?
Exactly that. And like, I used to create so many stories in my mind, but because I never did anything about it, I convinced myself they were all true, because I didn't put it on paper or I didn't speak it.
Right.
And now I can, you know, I will never sugarcoat anything. When you are a life coach or mindset mentor or anything, you don't have your shit together 24/7. You still have your moments. No one does.
Absolutely. And it's for anybody out there that does come across mindset coaches that say they have it all together. We assure you, as a pair of non-bullshitters, that they don't. There's something that everybody's winging it somewhere in their lives. Even if they're super together, they've got a team holding them together, whatever it is. everybody is still a work in progress.
Yeah, and I mean, my girls on my membership and in my support group and everything else, they will also, I share my highs and my lows because it's real. It's real life. And I will never tell anybody that comes to me that if you come and work with me, you will have your shit together 24/7, because it's a big fat lie.
Right.
You know, I just teach how the ego versus reality, how to acknowledge it, understanding the trigger. The trigger will always be a past experience, whether that's from childhood, school, young adult. It will be a trigger. It's always something that you don't think it is. You'll think like you'll know the trigger, but you don't until you dig a little deeper.
Right.
And I teach people to understand it and befriend fear. People, I see a lot of talks about don't acknowledge your thoughts. Please acknowledge them, because if you don't acknowledge them, you don't know what's going on. And embrace fear, because fear, without it, you don't have growth. Without failure, fear, or mistakes, you can't have growth. You have to feel that fear and understand that it's actually there to help you. Shit's scary, you know. But
fear's an opportunity, isn't it? Yeah, fear's an opportunity to listen to yourself. And I think this is something that, as we get a little bit older, you know, and the majority of the people that watch this show tend to be 30 plus.
Yeah.
They know themselves a little bit. They're less tolerant of the bullshit. They're more open to learning about themselves. But fear is an opportunity. It's your body saying, okay, let's check in. As opposed to feel the fear and stop, and then that sends you into your stress responses: flight, fight, freeze, fawn, whatever it is that your stress response is in that particular situation. And everyone has different ones for different situations. When you feel something like that, that is your body, your instincts, your gut, whatever you want to say. It could be spirit, however you want to look at it, whether you're woo or not woo. It is your body saying to you, let's check in. It is not saying necessarily, let's fuck it off.
Exactly.
So let's listen, let's get quiet, let's get still. Like, okay, let's work out what's happening here. What is this thought process? And when you allow yourself to feel it, you can get a little bit closer to it, and you can start looking at it, journaling on it, working it out, as opposed to being in it. And when you're in the feeling all the time, that's when, you know, your thoughts will run away with you. But when you realize that your body, whenever you're feeling anything, is trying to tell you something, that's when you're not in ego, you're in instinct. And when you're in instinct, you will make your best choices, right?
Yeah, and you've got to take responsibility as well. I do ass kick with love.
Yes,
like,
oh God, like,
you know.
We just became best friends, Dione. Like, we just met, and I'm like, here's my soul sister over in Spain.
Yeah, like literally, you know, you have to step up. You have to take responsibility. You have to show up for yourself.
Right.
Because if you don't, nothing's going to change. And I teach the girls that when, you know, there'll be times they're like, I'm not showing up for tonight's Zoom, I'm feeling low. And I'm like, show up. It's the most important time. I can tell you quite openly, yesterday I had the shittiest day of my life. I had, Monday, it was the worst news of my life. Tuesday, I felt really shitty. And then I got notification that I was coming on your show because the email went into spam.
Yeah.
So I'd already decided that I was taking the week off because I had to listen in my mind what was going on.
Things when you know, if you've got news, or you know, you've been thrown a curveball, and I hear you with that. Like 5 years ago today, so today's an emotive day for me. 5 years ago today, my dad had a catastrophic incident, a catastrophic brain injury that threw us together after 6 years, and we're still processing, we're still going through. This time it's always a bit sticky, it's always a bit feely, and when you are thrown curveballs, yes, you do need to take time to process those things and just hold on to the edge of the table a little bit and just go, okay, where are we at? What's going on?
And I could have given 1,000 excuses as to why I wouldn't show up today.
I'm so glad you did.
Why I still wouldn't go for my walk with the girls. Why I wouldn't continue doing what I do. I just wanted to curl up under a duvet, but what would that do? Nothing. Right. So I actually went in live into my membership, and I was like, you know, swollen eyes, no freaking sleep. And I was like, this is when you show up. Right. You have, you know, I'm not going to tell you to show up if I can't show up. Right, and it's like, slap that face on, process what you're going through, but still show up, because wallowing in self-pity, as harsh as that sounds, isn't going to help you. Yes, embrace your feelings, understand what you're feeling, give yourself time to feel it, but don't stay there.
Yeah, because it's a very dangerous place to unpack, isn't it?
Yeah, and it could send you, because if you've been in a downward spiral before, it's unfortunately negativity spreads quicker, and you tend to relate to that feeling with memory far quicker than you do happier memories. So when something traumatic does happen to you, you'll automatically go back to that time when you were low before, or suffering with anxiety or depression or negativity or whatever, and you'll take yourself back there. And if you stay there too long, you'll just go back down that spiral. And you know, don't ignore it, feel it, allow yourself to feel, don't punish yourself for feeling crap, but just still show up and take responsibility and decide what you want to learn from it and how you want to move forward. It's so important.
It is, absolutely. And it's getting that balance right as well between still showing up and when you show up in your honesty, it's very different than showing up and I don't mean your makeup, but putting a face on and being something that you're not. So when we're talking about showing up in this particular situation, you may have been thrown a curveball, and we're still saying, you know, feel the feels, all of that, and still show up. What we're not saying in this instance is show up as something that you're not. Like you said, you show up to people and you were swollen eyes and you told them what was going on, and that's where you were. You were showing up in your honesty. You were showing up instead of everything's fine, ha 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 ha, jazz hands. And because if you were to do that, and again, this is for you listening at home, please don't get this misconstrued, that creates a cognitive dissonance. That creates, you'll end up feeling worse for showing up not in your authenticity.
Exactly.
You will feel worse for doing that. So it's allowing yourself to be vulnerable. Your people will love you more. Your audience will understand. You don't have to then unpack all your shit for everyone to smell in the same instance. You don't have to go, right, here's everything that's going on for me. But you can tell people you're having a hard time. Just a few weeks ago, you know, I was poorly and I had to take a few days out, and we cancelled the show for the first time in a year for a couple of days, and it made me feel sad. And I told everybody that makes me feel sad that I had to do that. Everyone understands, it's fine. But if I was to then show up after a few days out going, everything's okay, everybody, no. And it's bollocks. And what I love, Dione, is that obviously, now we've got members of your audience that are watching this morning who have felt the wrath not the wrath, but who have felt the stern but loving kick up the arse. Amy has felt it. It looks like Sherry's felt it as well.
I'm kind of glad I can't see the comments.
Oh, you can. If you just click comments on your screen, you can see them all. Pixie is saying, I'm sat here nodding. I had to push myself to get back to work before I was ready when my nan died. I was scared, never getting out of the pit of grief. And I don't know if anyone's ever watched, what is it called? It is, it is it's a Netflix animation, and it's really naughty. And it's about a bunch of kids going through puberty. It's ridiculous. But it's all animated and they're all voiced by adults, and they can get away with absolute murder. It's so rude. It's so naughty. It's like, it's really naughty.
You need to let me know what that is.
Oh, man. Like, I will. I'll send it to you. If anybody knows what that is, what is it called? Big Mouth, it's called.
Okay.
It's called Big Mouth. So it's all voiced by adults, but they're playing children and sharing teenagers, and they're sharing teenage angst. And one of the first things that the girls come across is anxiety mosquitoes that whir around their head, telling them all the bad things that's going to happen. It's very, very noisy. And the depression kitty. Now, the depression kitty The depression kitty is this big, fluffy, beautiful cat that talks really slow and wraps up the teenager in its loving embrace and then smothers it. And that's what we do. That's what we do. It doesn't kill her, but it keeps her in her bed. It keeps her eating ice cream, have some more ice cream, watch some more Netflix, do all these things. Or it'll make you feel so much better if you do those things. But it doesn't. That is their short-term things. Yeah, for sure. Do the thing, eat the ice cream, watch the Netflix, curl yourself up in your quilt. But after a while, your body will ache. Yeah. You know, you can't lay in bed for that long. You can't be that comfortable for that long. And that depression kitty, it's like it's so funny how that works, that our victimhood and our depression and all of this sort of stuff, we can get wrapped up in it. It's very difficult to see out when we're that comfortable within it and when we're cocooned in it. And understanding that in that reflective piece, in that journaling, in that logical approach sometimes is really helpful.
Yeah, and that is when you're in that state of mind, that's when the ego is at the loudest. When you're on the low and you start, you don't see a way out. I remember being in the darkest tunnel ever and thinking, this is life. Like, you know, I can't see a way out. And the more that you tell yourself that, and you know, you roll yourself up in the bed consistently and tell yourself, well, I'll just sleep and everything, that's when the voices in your head become the loudest, and they create the darkest stories. And you know, I've experienced it. It's why I do what I do, and it's why I'm so passionate, because I felt like I didn't have anyone to turn to. Of course, like I had my best friend and everything, but I mean, I didn't have anyone that could help and understand and give me techniques to get through it. And it was, you know, just to be a mum was hard work, you know, and just to get out of bed, and it was horrendous. But you know, the first step always seems the scariest, because you'll give yourself every reason why you can't take that first step, and that step could be the smallest of steps. The size of the step doesn't matter, as long as it's a step. But once you take that first step, you will start seeing the light. It's a process, but with certain techniques and support, you can get through anything. Us women are strong, and sometimes we don't give ourselves credit for how strong we actually are. And sometimes you just need that hand to hold and to walk you down the path and show you, you know, what's on the other side. And that's what I love doing.
And it's amazing the work that you do. And it's obvious from, you know, from all of our new viewers this morning, just how loving and safe a space that you create for, you know, your wonderful audience. And again, like I say, you guys are so welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Now, we've got a comment coming, and we're going to have to peep our head over it because it's a big one. Are you ready? So you might have to pop your head over. Look, you have to pop your head over it so we can see you. So it says a question. Hello. I've been showing up, Karen is saying, I've been showing up raw and real in my new group, taking them on a journey with me, doing weekly chill out lives, as well as offering value. But there's a limit to how many times you can say that you're feeling overwhelmed and lost. You won't be seen as a leader or able to be offering value if you're too honest or say that you're not clear on things. Any advice, please?
So you can be as honest as you want. Like you will always understand, the right people will always come to you, but don't ever pretend. Don't ever, you know, you can say you're feeling overwhelmed, and you can say you're having a hard time. You can say that you're having a good time. You can say that you were feeling this and this is what you did. Just be you.
Yeah, I hear that. I think what's worth, if you're wanting to lead, I think this is definitely, there's a difference. If you're just kind of in your own space and you're in growth and you're doing the work on yourself, then absolutely, you know, being on that journey is important. We're all on a journey. Leaders are on a journey. People that aren't leaders are on a journey. But if you're wanting to lead an audience, constantly showing up saying that you're overwhelmed all the time might not be helpful.
No.
You might need to do a little bit of work in terms of, you know, where you're actually at and the reasons that you want to lead. I think would be the piece of work for me as a business owner, for me as a business leader, is probably what I would say to Karen. What do you think about that, Dione? If you're turning up all the time going, I'm overwhelmed, I'm lost, I'm overwhelmed, I'm lost. Yeah, that's not going to give off the right. No. I don't want to be led by someone who's always overwhelmed and lost. It's acknowledging the human experience, I think.
Yeah, and you've got to look at, if you're feeling overwhelmed and lost, you've got to look at why you're feeling overwhelmed and lost. You've then got to work on you as a person, on how to overcome that and lead with that. Like when you're a leader, show your journey, of course, you know, share your journey, share your authenticity, but also you need to know what it is you want to lead in, how you want to lead, who you want to inspire. You know, and you're right. If you're saying as a business leader, I mean, I don't know what it is you do or where you're leading, but if you're showing up every day going, I'm feeling really overwhelmed and crap, and people are going to turn off. That's fact. Unfortunately, you know, people can't consistently listen to negativity.
Because that's not, you're leading them down the wrong path if that's the case, right? Yeah,
it will be the unfortunately, the way that society can be is, you know, people will, oh, here we go again, kind of thing, you know, what's upsetting her now. So yeah, of course you can't lead with negative behavior. If that's how you are feeling, then I would look towards yourself first before you start leading.
Absolutely.
And work on you first. And then once you come out the other end, then that's how you can lead. You can lead by example of saying, yes, I was overwhelmed. This is how I was feeling. This is what I done. This is how I overcome it.
And then it becomes a survival guide. And then you're back in leader position again. Again, one of the things that I had to look at earlier on this year was my health, my overall health, my heart health particularly. And I wasn't showing up every day going, oh, I'm really poorly, I'm feeling really terrible today, I'm still feeling really terrible. I allowed myself to be poorly, told people that I was poorly, then come through the other side and said, hey, I made myself poorly. Here's what I'm going to do to make things better. I acknowledge I wasn't doing things right, but I have a plan and an incredible team, and here's what we're going to do. Actually, it's made life more exciting. So that is still feeling the feels, still being poorly, still building yourself back up again. But then leading is coming back and saying, hey, you know, I wasn't doing things quite right there. That was a little bit hairy. Here, given all of the learning that I've done over the years, this is what I've brought together. And actually, it's just made life a hell of a lot more exciting. And that is, it's not spinning it. It's allowing yourself to lead still from that really positive place. Karen's just going back to say, I put my own positive spin on it as I'm learning so much about myself. And I know your journey, Karen, and I know that it is a journey. I'm explaining what techniques I'm using. Now that's helpful. What are you doing? What's working for you? And for you, that they're the kind of things that when you were sharing what you were journaling on social media, for me, when I was sharing what I was doing on lives, that what's working for me, what's happening right now, what am I doing? How am I addressing these things? That's leadership, as opposed to I'm feeling really overwhelmed today. I'm feeling really overwhelmed today. So yeah, it's getting that balance right, isn't it?
Yeah, and as you said, you know, don't turn up being somebody you're not, as in pretending with that painted face that everything is fine and dandy, because that won't work either. And balance is key. But yeah, if you've got to feel the feel, but come up with a solution, take the responsibility, take action, then share it. And then share your truth. You won't see me, you know, I will lead by example. So I will always offer in lives and posts techniques of how to overcome certain things that I see on social media. So if I see certain conversations, especially with what's going on in the world at the moment, you know, I will jot down what I see people talking about, and I will then come live and say, I am noticing this topic at the moment. So here is a technique that can help you overcome said topic. So that, you know, or if there is a day where, you know, I've been through something where I'm not feeling my 100% self, I will find the solution first. I will work on me, and then I will explain it. This week was kind of different. I did show up real raw and honest. It had to be done because I was seeing that others were feeling pretty crap but didn't want to show up because they were feeling crap. So I was just setting an example, saying, hey, look, puffy eyes, hair on top of my head, not been washed, shit news, but I'm here, I'm showing up, and I'm going to take responsibility. I'm going to take action. This is what I'm going to do. So that's the difference.
Amazing. And my God, you know, Dione, I can't believe I can't believe we've been talking for, you know, 45 minutes. I feel like we could talk. I know. And I feel like we could just talk about this and talk about this and talk about this, because A, it's so important. And B, when you learn these things, your life starts to open up in ways you never, ever expected them to before. It was like when I first came across this sort of concept around 14 years ago. I only started really applying them in the last 6, 7, 8 years. And in the last 3 years, given myself permission to really acknowledge, accept, and lead in with that knowledge and with that information. And it has absolutely changed my life, as I know it has for you as well, Dione.
Massive. And that's the thing. Once you learn it, you will overcome things a lot quicker and easier. Like if this was me 3-4 years ago and stuff had happened, and then I'd got, you know, an invite to come and chat to you, I wouldn't have showed up. I'd have gave you a reason and said, no, sorry, I can't.
I don't feel very well. Or
I feel sick, or, you know, my dog hurt his leg. I would have come up with anything. But when you learn this stuff, it really helps you, as you say, it gives you the permission to rise and shine and show up for yourself. And that's one thing that I'm determined to teach the world.
I hear you. And thank you for owning that space of the internet, owning that space of your world, and doing your work where you can. And I think that's all that we can do when we're in the service industry, when we're in the, you know, the mission of helping people. Like for me with public speaking, that's my job. But actually the IATQB movement, the reclamation, that is your birthright. Success, health, good mental health, good relationships, good businesses, all of that is your birthright. But these things don't just land on your lap. You can't sit there with your depression kitty surrounding you going, oh, I'm just waiting for this opportunity. I'm waiting for this opportunity. It seems the harder I work at this, the luckier I get. I don't know about you, Dione.
The more literally, I mean, come on, I've been stalking you for about a year now.
Why have you never been in my inbox before? I'm like, we should have been speaking well before. I
know. It's like I've been stalking you for a year, and the more that you show up, the more that you get these kind of opportunities.
Right. Exactly that. And it's not magic. It's not woo. It's not, it isn't any of those things. It is taking intentional action, whether that's intentional action around what's going on up here, what's going on here, what's going on in your businesses. Intentional action is absolutely key. And when you surround yourself with inspirational people who are sharing that message like you, Dione, you can only be a winner. So congratulations. Tell us about how to hang out with you more, because I'm going to be there.
Oh, yes, you have. So I've got a free support group on Facebook, which is called Set Yourself Free from a Negative Mindset. We have loads, tips and tricks, masterclasses. I've also got a membership for women only. Everything I do is for women only.
Right.
My membership is Dione Lockyer mindsetmentor.com/membership.
Yep.
And then I also have, I'm going to even show you.
Oh, this is the journal.
This is my journal. I absolutely love it. This is a journal with a difference. It actually takes you on a journey about listening to your thoughts, what you're thinking, your triggers, acknowledging it, overcoming it, absolutely everything. And that's available on Amazon in all countries. So yeah, come and say hi. More than welcome. They're a great bunch of women in both the membership and the group that I have. You will be welcomed with open arms. Everyone's at different stages of their journey, but they support each other like no one's business. Amazing. I've never had to kick anyone out. Now for a bunch of women, come on, that's good.
The thing is, when you lead really, really well, as you do, and I know I do, for the same reason, we have a no knobheads clause on the hive, right?
Yeah, and I have a hashtag don't be a dick. That's my hashtag.
We do the same. And it's the no knobheads clause is that, you know, you show up in kindness, show up with the openness to perspective, and show up in the intention of support. And if everyone's showing up in that space, then there can be no negative outcomes, because we're just allowing ourselves to be open. And I think that your vibe does attract your tribe. And again, once again, I know I've said this all the way through the live today. Thank you so much to all the members of Dion's audience that have shown up to the show this morning. We are meant to have come together this morning. It is definitely divine intervention. I think our mutual slay is very, very complimentary. So obviously your audience is very, very welcome into mine as well in the IATQB Hive. Let's see what we can do together.
Definitely.
You're more than welcome to come on in and have a chat to my lot in there as well. Thank you so much, Dione, for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you are so welcome. I can't believe that it's took us to today to connect properly, but it will not be the last time that we talk. Thank you so much, Dione Lockyer, everybody. We will pop the links up to the journal and to her group, obviously, into the comments. What a phenomenal conversation. That is where we need to be heading right now, you lot. We need to be starting to get this in order. We need to start getting our sleeves up. We need to be putting the mirror up to ourselves. How are we getting in our own way? How do we stop it? How do we break these cycles? We're tired. I get it. It's long, but we need to be looking on the other end of this. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and you have definitely got certainly my hands at your back, willing you forward. So if you do want to get involved with the Move Be Get Out the Way challenge, it's happening in the IATQB Hive at the end of this month. Kicks off on the 22nd of February. We're going to be looking at self-sabotage, how you've been self-sabotaging, and how you can get out of your own way, ready to hit up the rest of the year, ready to peep around the corner of this ridiculous 12 months that we've had, and show up shining, showing up, looking after yourself, showing up with you front and center, because you absolutely deserve it. I'm so grateful for all of you that have watched this morning. I am so grateful. Thank you so much. We're going to be talking copywriting tomorrow. We have got our fantastic guest. He's going to be coming in from South Africa. We are an international audience and an international panel this week. Super, super, super excited for the rest of this week and on into next week. If you do want to be on the show, you're going to need to be in the IATQB Hive, and more details are on my email list. So if you go to imthequeenbee.co.uk, just pop to the bottom, pop your email address in, and we will give you details of how to sign up if you want to be interviewed on the show up Rise Up show. If you've got a story, or if you've got an inspirational business or a business service that can support our entrepreneurs out there, you are most welcome to apply to come onto the show. Make sure if you're signing up for wait, can you come back? Dione, can you come back? Rachel, we forgot. You're right, we forgot the challenge screenshot. Don't go anywhere. So I've been set a challenge. Dione, you're there. Oh, thank God. I just saw you were about to sign off then. I was like, don't go. So we've been challenged by the fierce fat feminist, Lindsay McGlone. Every day this week, we are going to pose. I'm going to pose with my guest. And then all of you that are watching out there, you need to take a screenshot, go to Instagram, tag me at the Queen Bee Dani, and tag you. Are you on Instagram, Dione?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram, Dione Lockyer Mindset Mentor.
Right, Dione Lockyer, Mindset Mentor. I want you to take a screenshot and upload it onto your stories and tag us at the Queen Bee Dani and at Dione Lockyer, Mindset Mentor. Are you ready? After 3, we're going to pose.
Ready?
Are you ready?
All right.
1, 2, 3. Right, I reckon that was long enough. Thank you for coming back to pose as we were just
You're
wrapping
welcome.
up. Then I'll come and see you in just a second once we've finished
No
on
worries.
our live. So yeah, if you want to take part in the Move Bee challenge, get yourself to iamthequeenbee.co.uk/Move Bee challenge. Get signed up. We've got £250 Amazon vouchers up for grabs, Harvey Nichols hampers up for grabs, and of course copies of my book, I'm the Queen Bee, How I Overcame Self-Sabotage to Fly. Anyway, and how you can too. I love you, and I will see you tomorrow at 9:30 for more showing up, wising up, and rising up. Take care, Tra.